Jonatan Ramirez is working hard in the Low Country to protect and support the LGBTQ youth. Today, I talk one-on-one with him to see what he's doing right now for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Jonatan Ramirez, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Hi, Quinn. How are you? It's so good to be back. It's so good to see you. Yes, I'm so excited to chat with you, give you all the deets on everything going on at Weird Family and Closet Case. So let's just hop right into it.
As a matter of fact, you are the manager for the Closet Case and the community events director for We Are Charleston, which obviously, supports and, gives, as you know, a whole lot of leadership development and support for the LGBTQI+ youth in Charleston. So what's new? What's now? We Are Family.
Yeah. So here at Weird Family, we are right now. It is May 19th when we are recording this, and we are getting ready for our Pride Month coming up. Pride Month is a busy time for us here. As we like to say, it is the Super Bowl for us because we have a ton of fun events coming up. So right now we're in the midst of all that right now. We're getting ready for Park Circle Pride to kick things off. We are ready for the Charleston Pride Parade and just a lot of fun collaborations coming out next month. Some of them we can't give the details about, but some of them I'm so excited to not only just share with the Charleston area, but also we got some fun surprises that our friends from all over the nation will get to know a little bit of all the fun things that we are doing here at We Are Family. So yes, a bunch of fun things are happening, and we just can't wait for our fun rainbow time of the month for it to be here.
And so what is it like for you to organize this event as a member of We Are Family?
Yeah, so really, a lot of people say, how are you not stressed right now? And honestly, I think I have to give a shout out to all of my folks that I interned with, Jacqueline Lawrence at Inventive Environments, at Fashion Week, Andrew Serrano. Like, these folks, I feel like they have trained me and gotten me ready to do what I'm doing now at We Are Family. I mean, Park Circle Pride, we have literally an event every single day going on that week.
Wow.
And it seems like a lot, but I think with all the skills that I learned from interning with these amazing people, has taught me the skills to, one, be mentally ready for everything that's about to happen, but also be in the moment for not only for like my staff, but for our youth who will be attending these events, for our community members, for those folks that this is the first time that they are with their chosen family members. It's like I said, I always tell people Pride is my favorite time of the year because it is the most meaningful time for a lot of folks. And just by being out in the community, just by doing these events, it's going to mean so much, not just for our adults, but really for our youth.
So what does the Pride Festival mean to you personally?
To me personally, it means that it is time to celebrate our families, our community. I mean, I always tell people here at Closet Case, it is Pride all year long. But really this time it's a good way to be seen and be heard, for especially in, showcase the voices for our community members who might, not be out of the closet yet, or might not be as loved in their families. So when they attend these events, we create those safe spaces for them. We create an environment where they can talk to us. Again, it's always a Pride Month here at Closet Case, but this month is just a little bit more special because it's more visibility. I think one day it's going to be where we are doing these kind of events all year long and different venues, but I think we're making those baby steps right now.
And you're making those baby steps right now, but will you have the infrastructure in place to make that happen in the future, to have it all year long?
Absolutely. I always tell people we're going to dream big. Even when we start planning an event, even when we start planning Closet Case, we're going to dream big, and we're going to start falling it down to a action plan, and then we're going to grow from that. Okay, cool. So for example, one day we are going to have a mobile thrift store, and we're going to be able to go to rural areas in South Carolina, love the dream. So let's make it smaller. Okay, cool. How can we do things now to get to that step? So that's what we do. To do, even our events. At one time, doing a Charleston Queer Prom was almost like an impossible thing, but now it's become one of our biggest events that we have. This year, we are doing it at the Gibbs, our adult queer proms coming up, and with that, it's going to be it's a big milestone for Weir family's history.
Wow. So, who are those people, Jonathan, who want to be seen and heard but can't express themselves?
Yeah, so it's honestly a lot of our what we like to call our chosen family siblings. So our active military folks are folks who are are not in a safe space to be who they are. Some of our kids, some of our youth who know that they're trans or they're queer or somewhere in the rainbow umbrella. It's for these folks who aren't open, what would I say, aren't openly visible yet, but are here with us. So these folks come to some of them come to our programs, but they're not out to their families, or some of these kids will come to the events that we have or come to Closet K's and be an ally, but in reality they're the ones who this is, we're here supporting them. We're creating those safe places for them. We're creating that community that when they're ready to be themselves out in the world, then we're here to let them know we got your back. We're your family. How can we best support you right now?
And from 2021 to right now, how many of those people have We Are Family actually helped?
We always like to aim for a number, but in reality, we don't really have like a number because the great thing about Weird Family is we are a drop-in kind of space. So for some folks, they get the resources that we need by social media. Sometimes some folks will join our groups, or sometimes some folks will join our events, and they will be the people in the back. Way in the back, in the corner, in the dark, but they're here, and so we count them, as our family. So when people ask us, like, what is a true number? We can give you a number, but being very realistic, it's not the actual number because we know that for safety reasons, we can't count everybody. Right. We can't have those emails. Dozens of times, sometimes some folks will come in at Closet K's during what we like to call sensory hours here at Closet K's, and for that time, a lot of folks will come in because it's a time where they know that it's going to be less traffic. It's also going to be a little bit more quiet. And if they're not out, then they know that it's a safe time for them to come shopping with us. Yes, which everybody's open to come shop with us. But it seems like that time frame when we do our sensory hours, we see more of our community members who are not out yet.
And so what type of resources do those people need right now?
Yeah, so one that I can think of is our mental health program. A lot of our youth use our free therapy sessions. You come to our art therapy, our groups. One of our newer groups, our Kids Space for kids, I believe 10 or under. It's becoming one of our more popular groups. Our parent space is slowly starting to grow. And these are just like some of the newer things that are happening. Our name change program, it's been such a big need that now our person who does this on our staff, Gabby, does these, helps people with their name change on a case-by-case basis. Because like I said, it's a need that we know is there, but we're a small little grassroots organization, so we're doing the best we can with the funding that we have to create those big impactful moments. But we're creating a bigger mass of support by publicly posting, articles or resources. So in case we can't meet with somebody one by one, or they're not in a safe space to reach out to us or be openly who they are, at least we're tossing those resources out into the world on our social media, having a sign up in our thrift store or whatever the case is. At least they can see that and they can get those resources that they need at that moment.
And so how many people, particularly the LGBTQI youth, have actually changed their name in the past year?
Oh my goodness, I can tell you that it's been a lot. I don't know the exact numbers because this is a program that our friend Gabby runs
Oh
here.
yeah.
But I can say it is a huge number. I mean, if it's gotten to the point where sometimes folks will, it comes to the point where sometimes they just don't have the capacity to have as many people in like one session,
Mm.
where it has to be like a case by case thing. And also, some people don't feel comfortable like joining like a group like discussion around that. They want to
Mm.
do like a one on one kind of thing with Gabby, which is like totally optional.
Yeah.
But the name changes is becoming one of our like biggest programs here, thanks to our friends at Gender Benders who help fund this need for folks. I mean, and also we do a lot of, we kind of like help folks along the process of that, from getting their documents correct, getting help, prepping them for what they'll experience when they go to court and all that. So yeah, and these are those things again that make our programs We Are Family strong, is that we are honing in onto what is the need of our community and how can we be that assistance to our community members.
So what exactly is the need right now?
The need right now is our community support. I mean, let's be real. With everything going on in the state house, with everything going on in the nation attacking our trans siblings, it's a lot. And what we really need from our community is just really be the true allies that you are to our youth, not just during Pride Month. We need y'all to be the true allies all year long at drag brunches. Okay, we know what's going on with drag culture right now, but for all of our bachelorettes who are visiting Charleston, we need y'all to be the allies, not just when you're coming to bottomless mimosas to drag brunch. No, we need you to be that ally all year long. We need you to be the leaders in our schools as they're trying to ban these books. You need to be the allies for these kids at schools. That's what we really need. Is we need, if you are going to be out in the parade on June 3rd, if you're going to be out in the community at all during Pride Month, we need you beyond June 1st and the end of June. We need you to be there for our youth, our community members, and all of our like trans siblings all year long.
So you mentioned this just a few seconds ago when you referenced that is about the books. How many books have been banned allegedly by schools here in the Low Country?
Oh my goodness, in the Low Country, not completely sure what books are completely banned. This is a question that one of our like staff members can get back to you on that, because I mostly focus on community events and closet case. But I will say it's becoming a number where some of the books on that list are like, why is this even a topic? For example, the Wizard of Oz has been a hot topic as to should it be added to that list of banned books or not. Now, for us, we're thinking, why the Wizard of Oz? Why does it make sense? Okay, cool. Some people are saying that, because it has some queer underlying tones. Okay, cool. It's a book. It's a book that's been around for years, and why are we now like wrapping around this? It's just, to me and to a lot of our members here at We Are Family, it's just like, why are we taking a step back? We need to be stepping forward and really listening to these kids and asking them, is this really an issue for you or is it not? Because a lot of our youth and a lot of their friends will say, no, it is not. This is the actual issue that's going on in our schools.
So what is the actual issue that's going on in school, and how are you all helping with that?
Yeah, but some of the issues that are happening right now for our youth is that a lot of teachers are feeling overwhelmed. And it's coming back to our youth. With recently, there was a big at Charleston County School District, our friend Gabby, who was on our team, went and testified against, like, they were trying to pass a new, like a new rule where teachers basically had to out some of our youth. And let's be real, like a lot of teachers don't even have the capacity to worry about, outing somebody, or really, like what was coming down to is that the school district was trying to enforce rules that would target a lot of our queer youth. And a lot of our youth were just letting us know that this isn't really an issue that they think that the school district should be focusing on right now. They should be focusing on the staff at schools. I mean, let's being just very realistic, is that the students who are at school right now is just, yeah, it's just becoming a lot for them. And with everything going on in the nation, I always just tell my kids and all of our youth here that I need y'all to focus on one thing, and that's your schoolwork, and let us as the adults advocate for you in these spaces, at the courthouse, at the state house, where they are, trying to pass the banned books, and they're trying to pass the anti-trans medical bills. We're in the spaces advocating for them while y'all are in school.
And I'm going to get the officials from the Charleston County School District and the
Yeah.
South Carolina State House to get their side of the story and comment on this story later on the Quintin's close-ups this summer. But I know that you are also a teacher, a volunteer teacher in the community for the LGBTQI plus youth in here in the Low Country. So, what is the majority of the LGBTQ youth who are actually enrolled in school that states that that their school is LGBTQ affirming?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, so a couple of things. So specifically, I work with an organization called Yo Art.
Right.
They are another organization, an amazing organization who teaches STEM classes to Title I schools. Super amazing. You should have them, Greg. Amazing. They have an awesome event coming up in October, and I teach fashion with them. The cool thing about this class is when I go into schools, it's that it lets students step away from what they're currently going through at home and in school, and I expose them to like a new world, which is the world of fashion. For a lot of kids, I teach them that fashion is everywhere, and some of them, they will start opening up to me, especially like after we do a couple projects, they'll start creating their designs or collections based on their personality and who they are. So I always tell folks, and it's always super magical seeing like these youth start expressing themselves through art, and this is why what Your is doing is just so amazing. Some of their collections, some of their fashion designs really showcase their work. I mean, I've had a student one time who was designing a whole collection with bisexual pride colors, and it didn't click to me until I saw their final collection. I was like, why did you do this? And they were like, well, Pride Month is coming up and it's always rainbows, but there's not really much like bi stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know that. Thanks for feeling safe for me to let me know that. Sometimes some of these students will pull me out and they're like, hey, Mr. JT, can I talk to you? Obviously, you're very open about your lifestyle. I don't know how to tell my parent at home. And so they'll put me to the side and we'll have those deep discussions with them. Not all the time, I don't have those youth, but the impact of having a queer educator in these spaces means so much to kids. Sometimes when I'm at schools up in North Charleston, even having a Latin undocumented person who is their teacher means everything to them. So providing these spaces means a lot, and we see this relief also for some of the teachers who, when I'm there during this hour and a half with their students, it's almost like they can catch up on other things because the school district is just throwing so much onto them that I can at least be a little relief for them during this busy schedule of the day.
And let me return you to the closet case where you work right now. So
Yeah.
if I were to go on the floor with you right now, what particular item would you pull from the floor and say, hey, this is what describes me as a person?
Yeah, honestly, right now it is our new Pride merch. I'm so proud and I'm so excited to start releasing some of our 2023 Pride items because it is a full collection of not just designs from some of our staff members and some of our youth, but it's also a fun collection of things made from different queer artists and small businesses from around the world. We have some of our necklaces and bracelets from some of our kids who have been through We Are Family programs and are now in college up in Ohio, Colorado. This necklace actually is by one of our newer brands that we have.
Oh.
This kid is currently in school, I think, in Ohio. And they are doing this on the side while they are getting their bachelor's right now. So anytime somebody comes in and asks me, well, what is your favorite thing right now? Honestly, it's our Pride merch. I'm so excited. Some of it is starting to roll out and people are absolutely loving it, from our buttons
Right.
to our cute stickers, all that fun stuff. So if you're going to look for Pride merch, definitely come and check us out. And if you can't make it here, catch us at one of our mini events coming up this month.
Absolutely. And so, which one of those queer artists actually inspires you today?
Oh my goodness, it would definitely be our friends at Eat Meats Paper. I mean,
Yes.
they recently got an amazing brand deal with Walmart. And,
Right.
you know, when we first moved into this little office where we are right now, up on Reynolds in North Charleston, they were one of the first people who came to us, greeted us, and they gave us actually a really cute gift. It was some of these posters right here.
Okay.
It was a whole collection of them from another company called Ladyfingers Press,
Right.
out on the other coast, and some, you know, little cards here and there, and just having them, you know, down the road was a great like partnership. I actually got some of our wedding invites from them, and just seeing their progression and now seeing where they are now, it's a huge deal. And I recently just spoke to them and I told them that this is amazing. That visibility, again, such a big deal for not only their work, but for the, what we like to say, our youth who are not out. So any youth who goes to Walmart in the middle of nowhere, town, and they see this in their Walmart, it's going to mean so much to them.
And as you know, Charleston is growing a lot. So, how will we or Charleston keep up with that growth with smart growth and other partnerships?
Yeah, no, we're family. We are always growing. I always tell people that one day we're going to have our own Netflix special. We're going to have our own documentary. And we're just keeping up by really always turning back to our community and asking them, what is the need right now? And as staff, how can we be that ally, that community source for our folks? Right now, there's so much in the works. Like I said, from some big announcements coming up to our events coming up, we're slowly making those steps. And I mean, Weird Family has been around since 1995, and we used to only have our safe space meetings in a church on Meeting Street, and now we're doing things like all over. The growth is happening, the queer magic is happening, and I'm so excited to see where we are in the future. Our staff, our new team members here are constantly growing. I'm so excited to really, start growing and seeing where we will be at in the next 5 years.
So, from 1995 to right now, what is the biggest difference about We Are Family?
Well, we went from having one staff member to about 6 people now. We recently have our newest friend who started working here, Cal, who is amazing. They are literally like the rock star of volunteers and things at Closet Case. Gabby is super amazing. Chandler, who is our mental health coordinator. And yeah, our staff is literally, like I would say, y'all are literally like the champions for these youth. That's been a biggest change, honestly, and also our visibility. We are doing things outside of the low country, not big major things, but we're always asking ourselves, how can we impact and how can we support these youth who are in these rural areas? Either it's shipping or sending things that they need, or having them join on our virtual calls, all that stuff.
And so, Jonathan, let me ask you then, without naming names, which
Yeah.
particular youth resembles a young Jonathan?
Oh my goodness. Well, a little kid that resembles me. I would say it's a little different. I always tell people, don't ever compare yourself to somebody because you are unique. But yeah, no, we definitely have like a youth who I'm like, I was like that a little bit. I need you to not be this, or I need you to like maybe make this better decision. And they're always asking me like, oh, Mr. JTY, and I'm like, I just know this will probably be a better alternative for you, or this might be a better decision, X, Y, and Z. Obviously, here we like to empower our youth to make those decisions for themselves, but we as adults, as grown-ups, we're always going to be here to best support these kids and whatever decision and whatever path they decide to make. I think it's our job to make sure that they be that the best that they can be and support them in whatever they want to do.
So, what is the alternative for the LGBTQI plus youth in the rural areas?
In what aspect?
Yeah, as far as helping them and giving them the resources, I should say.
Yeah, so the alternatives is always going to be how can we best fill that need for them. One thing that we have learned from the pandemic is virtual spaces. So all of our spaces used to be in person, but now we are doing what's called a hybrid model. So 1 week they'll be in person, 1 week they'll be online. Also opening up our Discord chat service for youth, which is blown up amazingly, and it's just become a great way for our youth to vent, to share memes, to share what they're watching right now, to give feedback on a show that they just watched, or hop on for the book club meetings, all that stuff. It is a great resource for our kids, and it is something that is filling in those needs for those rural kids.
And filling those needs, let me ask you this. When it comes to the rural youth and the LGBTQI youth, what are those other gaps that you want to fill?
Okay, yeah. So those other gaps are some things that we are currently actively working on. Is that language barrier for some folks? Folks are starting to notice that any post that we do, or any signage that we create at our events, it's always going to be translated in Spanish. Some other accessibility needs that we are creating is creating sensory spaces. Here at Closet Case, we recently just rolled out our sensory hours. At all of our events, we always offer sensory rooms for folks. We now have some noise muffler headphones for folks to use at our events. And these are just those baby steps that we're doing to, one, fill those needs for other community members, but also bridging those gaps from the needs of our community members.
Jonatan Ramirez of the We Are Family Group, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. I always love talking to you. And yeah, if anybody wants to learn more, just go to our website and visit us.
Absolutely. Thank you.